having a lot of fun lately with the Make Noise semi-modular trio of instruments here, the Zero Coast, Zero Control, and Strega, and I thought I'd just do a couple little patch breakdowns. I've got a sequence on Zero Control here, and I'm using its internal clock, so let's just get that going. And that is going to the tempo input of the Zero Coast. That's playing that single pedal note. And then the melody on top is coming from Strega's oscillator, and both of those are going through Strega's filter and delay. Now this sequence is in 5/4, and I just kind of landed on that because the Zero Control lets you dial in a different length for each step. So if you're clocking it internally, it can be very fluid because, you know, these are analog controls. They have theoretically an infinite little range that you could be moving within. So your timing here is going to be a little bit human, a little bit imperfect, and just by kind of messing around, I landed today on this sequence that's roughly a 5-beat sequence. So it's a basic sequence, and I've just been enjoying kind of meditatively playing with this patch. The main thing I've been messing with is the decay control on Zero Coast. So when it's really tight, it just adds this extra little impulse, this little click that feels like it comes at the start of the melody notes, since they're playing in sync. But as I extend it, it turns into these plucky, poppy kind of notes. And it's just so enjoyable to play this decay length by hand. And you can hear the timbre is also changing because I've got the stepped random voltage here controlling the overtone amount. So every note has a slightly randomized tone. So that is going to Strega's audio inputs, and Strega's oscillator is playing this melody, and both of them are going through this nice delay and filter, and it's also fun to kind of use these touch points and mess around a bit with the filter and the delay time. Now I actually also found with this that it's nice to take the Strega oscillator out of this and send the pitch to the Zero Coast. Just really beautiful tones and textures coming out of here. The sequence is pushing the Zero Coast pitch quite high now, but if we get back down to the range we were previously in, or somewhere close to it, it's also really nice. There's a second patch I want to show you now. This one is much more random and generative. So I built this patch by just plugging a lot of things in at random and experimenting, but the main concept behind it is that I'm using a lot of random modulation, and I'm modulating a lot of things. Chief among them is the direction and speed of the Zero Control. So its sequence is being heavily manipulated, and that is leading to a lot of different kinds of sound worlds here, especially as a lot of modulation is also happening on timbral parameters of Zero Coast and Strega. So I let it run for a while just to see what it would do, and then towards the end of recording it, I started messing around with some of the parameters just to find other little sweet spots. Alright, I was just messing around a bit and something really fun happened. Got this cool beat going. So you're hearing mainly the zero coast, but I've got it going into Strega still, and I'm kind of overdriving the input there. And then I'm using the zero control to modulate the zero coast FM input from this envelope out, creating kind of this drum effect here if I turn down the FM. Hear what the O coast is doing. So a lot is coming from zero control. And then there's just such a huge range of timbres you can get out by manipulating these zero coast's parameters. I just love the no coast sound. It's so gnarly. Also, yes, I keep flipping back and forth between saying zero coast and O coast and no coast because that's just how they are in my brain. They're all the same. Tony Rolando, who invented them, says that's how it should be too. This is cool. This is a vibe, man. This is such a fun way to come up with little groove starter ideas. Now let's get Strega in there. Woo! Okay, let's unpatch this because there was an actual thing that I wanted to try before I just started messing around and made maybe the coolest part of this whole video. Woo! I read online somewhere that it's cool to patch Strega's subharmonic output to its pitch input. So this final patch is going to be Strega only. Let's turn up the oscillator and see what it's doing with that. No effects for now. So I guess the subharmonics are, you know, part of the oscillator, so it's like FMing itself. Alright, so some weird textures happening here. Let's get the effects going and just give this a little bit more juice. Oh, wow. Really slowing down the delay is cool. And I'm also at fully wet on the effects now. I just felt like, you know, it's creating even better textures that way by not having the dry signal in there. Nice sort of like ocean waves vibe with the noisiness. of the delay feedback getting filtered slowly here. Really different, interesting sweet spots that you can kind of dial through quite quickly. Fun little soundscape generator. Well, I think I'm going to call it there for this video. I hope that was as fun for you as it was for me. I'll put the best of what came out of these machines today on my Patreon as a sample pack if you're interested in that. And yeah, hope you have a good day.